Meanwhile, back in Japan, it was almost July. The rainy season hadn't been bad this year, and what little remained of it had already disappeared. Temperature-wise, summer had come a long time ago. Summer. In other words, it had almost been a year since it happened. Wait a minute, there's a... I don't recognize those biker pricks, but I don't feel like I want to. And then, one Saturday afternoon, if I stayed home, not only would it be hot, but Dad would be on my case about helping with the family business. To get away, I had come to the area around Ikebukuro Station. A year ago, I could have gone to the lab, but with Suzuha there living now, I'd mostly stopped going. But that meant it was hard to find a place to study on my days off. It was too much trouble to go to university. And the classrooms probably weren't open on weekends anyway. After a lot of research, I'd settled on spending my free days visiting a cafe near my parents' home and spending a few hours there. In fact, a lot of the other patrons did the same as I did, buying a single cup of coffee and sitting there for hours on end. You are the worst kind of coffee patron, Okabe. Some brought books, some brought computers. I chuckled to myself as I realized I'd joined the ranks of the other normies. Where are you now? I'm not gonna lie, that's majestic, and I also don't know where you make these from.
Oh, the usual cafe, right? I just went to your place and you went home.
You did? Did my dad make a nuisance of himself again?
It's okay. He gave me some barley tea. I have to go shopping. Will you come with?
Okay!
Okay, I'll leave now. Wait for me.
So they went to my house. My family's business was called Okabe Greengrocer. It was a beat-up old store located in a run-down shopping street. The place was almost 40 years old. I really wanted them to rebuild it. My mind has wandered. Mary was going to be here in less than 15 minutes, so maybe it was time to call it a day. I worked pretty hard during the morning, so it wasn't too bad. I was a little surprised at how hard I've been working lately. I could feel how having a goal gave me energy. I needed to get to Victor Condria University as soon as I could. Victor Condria University. Since I was still testing Amadeus, I kept in touch with Maho via email and online chat. She must have been working hard because she was always sleepy. Oh, if you only knew. If you only knew. You know what? I'll always answer a call from Amadeus.
Hi.
Hello? What?
Why is your voice so low?
Shh. I'm in a cafe right now. Please don't call me when I'm busy with stuff.
I have no way to know when where you are or what you're doing. Or did you want me watching you 24 hours a day? Are you saying you want me observing you while you sleep or while you take a bath?
I mean, I'm not opposed to the idea. No, okay, never mind.
You're quite the pervert, aren't you?
I'm sorry.
If you don't want to talk to me when I call you, just don't pick up. I won't get mad about something like that.
That's true.
Well, looks like you're busy right now, so I'll do what you want and hang up. You're right. It's probably pretty rare for the rest of the cafe to see you talking to a 3D model of a girl on your phone.
Come on.
I'm kidding! You always take the time to talk to me and, well, I'm grateful.
We can talk about that some other time. I'm hanging up.
Hey, wait!
Interesting. I wonder if I'd not answered Amadeus's calls, like, throughout the thing, I'd have gotten something different there. 'Cause she says you're always, like, answering me when I call. Kurisu always talks so much. The real one used to talk a lot, too. Talking to her in a place like this always drew a lot of attention and made me feel awkward. Looking at the screen and talking was embarrassing, as was all, but... So I once proposed that I talk to her when I was on a normal phone. And this is what she said.
Why do I have to stare close up at the side of your head?
She really was a selfish little program. Mayuri and I met up and headed for Tokyo Hands. When I stepped inside the air-conditioned store, I felt refreshed. It was in this hot June. I shuddered to think of what it was going to be like in July or August. So, what are you gonna buy? Also, like, schoolgirl Mayuri. It's adorable and I love it.
We're gonna make some signs for advertising, so I need poster board and highlighters and stuff.
I don't know what it is. My voice really can't hold that one. I need to do the Mayuri voice tonight. You gonna put out a book at this year's Komima?
Nope! It's for Okabe Greengrocer!
Huh? What did you say? My family business?
When I went to your house today, I talked to your dad about it! And I said that Mayushi wouldn't make them for him!
Wait, seriously? My dad could be such a jerk. There's really no reason for you to have done that.
But Mayushi wants to do it!
You sure?
Your mom and dad are always so nice to me.
Okay. I'll get you something as a thank you present then.
Really? That makes me so happy!
You are too precious, stop it. I took a quick look around and saw they were selling a lot of things you could use for advertising. I decided to mostly leave the purchasing decisions up to Mayuri. She spent quite a while deciding what to buy. But, well, maybe because of all the time she spent at May Queen Yan Squared. Her taste ran in the direction of cute and anime. Part of me thought it was dangerous to leave it up to her, but still they'd asked her, not me. It wasn't any of my business. I should just leave it to her. And so I decided to wander around the store while Mayuri finished her shopping. But... here we go with this again. Can I help you? What's up?
Are you out shopping?
Yeah, with Mayuri.
Oh, a date?
Mainstream woman.
I've told you to stop calling me that.
And stop assuming everything is about romance.
Right, fine. But isn't Mayuri cute? You're lucky to have such a cutie as a childhood friend.
You're right.
Maho doesn't stand a chance at this rate. She's not as cute, she's not as young, she's shorter, her boobs are just hopeless. Aww. I feel so bad for her.
If you say that in front of Hiyojo, she'll delete your program.
You know, you haven't actually introduced me to Mayuri yet. You've got quite a few friends, but you've never told any of them about me.
It's a secrecy thing. I'm not supposed to tell people about you.
Is that really all it is? You actually don't want people seeing me talk to you, do you?
That's not true. If you really want me to introduce you, I'll get permission from Hiyajo. I'll start by introducing you to Daru, the man I trust the most. He'd just love to talk to you.
He'll stare at me with his filthy eyes, constantly panting after 24 hours a day, right? Perverts scare me.
Kurusu went pale and started to shake. That's an impressive computer program. I told Kurusu all kinds of things about what kind of person Daru was. She could easily imagine what would happen if she ever fell into his clutches.
Never mind. You don't have to introduce me to anyone. I'll just keep telling myself that I'm lucky just to have you to talk to. Okarin!
Mayuri walked over, carrying a shopping basket.
Huh? Who were you talking to?
Oh, come on, Raukabe. This is Mayuri. She's not as dumb as she looks. She's probably sussed it by now. I looked down at my phone. Kurusu had disappeared and my smartphone was back on its home screen. Evidently, Kurusu had hung up. Another student from school.
I see.
I knew I didn't have to hide Kurusu, but at the same time, Mayuri was the one person I didn't want finding out. She knew that I'd failed to save Makase Kurusu last summer. So did you decide what you're going to buy?
Oh, yeah. What do you think of these?
The basket was filled with heart and star-shaped cardstock. This didn't really go with our store's look. But I decided when I started. I was going to let Mayuri make the decisions. Dad might complain later, but I didn't care. He was the one who asked Mayuri for help, not me. And so I went over to the register. Since it was a Saturday, the checkout area was overflowing with shopping carts. Since it was going to take a while, I sent Mayuri to browse the toy section on another floor. I knew they'd had some stuff from one of her favourite shows, Rainet Kakaru. Hell yeah. I like how that's only just been brought up, despite the massive presence it had in the first game. Mayuri looked apologetic, but did what I told her to. In the end, I waited the whole 15 minutes at the register. Ha, you make that sound like a long time. As an apology, I decided to get the present I promised her. She seemed really happy and stared at the keychain. Oh god! That's the same Upa she gave to Kagari! It just lost all of its fancy bits! Like the crown and the wings! It's the same green and everything! It was an Upa, the mascot character from the Rainet Kakaru series. I told her when she went over to the toy section she could pick out anything she wanted, and this was what she chose. You seem pretty happy about that, given how many Upas you already have. And that's a regular green Upa, right? Not the rare one? The rare one. You mean the metal Upa? The most popular and rarest of the Upas was the shiny silver metal Upa. The one that ruins fucking time. For example, when there was a lottery for rare Rainet Kakaru stuff at the convenience stores, the top prize was always a metal Upa. Mayuri told me once that they sold for tens of thousands of yen at an auction. For some reason, Mayuri was wagging her finger at me.
Nope! This is the green Upa, but it's not a regular one. This is the green fairy Upa that was in the movie they just released.
You can tell because of the wings and crown. Come to think of it, there had been a Rainet Kakaru movie out in spring. Had Mayuri sat in the theatre full of little kids to watch it? Hey, don't judge. The green fairy?
Is it okay if I spoil the movie?
Go ahead, I'm not going to see it.
So, this movie It's about a fight with an evil super hack in the virtual world.
It's about Daru! Please go on!
The virtual world is a forest where the fairies live. Mr. Super Hacker is really strong, and Kakaru and Upa are in big trouble, but just when they're about to lose, the fairies come to save them. And then it turns out the fairies are actually the flowers at the school garden Hino was taking care of. They came all the way to the virtual world to save Kakaru, and then there was this big shiny light, and then they combined with Upa.
I'm not gonna lie, I'd watch this film by the sounds of it.
And that's Green Fairy Upa. He's real cute and really strong. Mayushi thought it was so great. I love stories like that. The director's a genius.
I see. It was rare to see Mayuri to get excited about something. I took a closer look and saw the design was a little different from the standard Upa. I didn't know a lot about Upas, so I couldn't exactly say what was different.
I've actually been spending a lot of time looking at this keychain. It's really popular, so it's sold out everywhere. Who would have thought Hans would have one?
You were pretty lucky, huh?
Yep, and this was the last one.
Anyone else just get that feeling of deja vu where Mayuri got a lucky Upa? We're about to start World War III because she bought this fucker, aren't we?
I'm glad I came today. I need to thank you and your dad.
Mayuri took the tag off the keychain, got out her house key out of her bag and carefully attached it.
Hey, Okarin! Mayushi will treasure this forever and ever and ever.
Yeah, please do. Make sure you don't lose it 5 minutes after you get it. Oh, he calling you out on your bullshit! It happened before, after all. Like the medal Upa I won at the radio building. Mayuri had lost it in no more than 5 minutes after I gave it to her. I wondered if she'd ever found it. I didn't really want to remember that time in my life, so my memory of what happened to the medal Upa was vague. Nakabachi had it! It was the reason why they found there's the reason why his paper didn't catch fire.
Yep! I'm never gonna lose it again!
The two of us started to head back.
I'm gonna work hard and make the ads for your shop, okay?
Oh, yeah. You've still got to do that. I've been thinking the job was done once we bought the materials. The real work actually began now. Should I help too?
Nope, I'm fine. Believe in Mayushi!
I'm a little worried after you tried to buy heart-shaped cardstock.
It's fine.
Well, it's nice of you to make them all, so I won't complain.
Oh, I need to call Mom. I'll tell her that I'll be home for dinner.
Why not eat at my place? I'm sure either Mom or Dad will get you to try and stay anyway.
I don't know. Aren't you gonna stay at home the rest of the day? You won't go to any singles parties?
I haven't been to any lately. Last fall, I've been trying to become a normal college kid and force myself to go to as many as possible. Well, lately I've been so busy with my studies that I hadn't had a chance.
I see. Maybe I will.
Mayushi took out her phone and started typing something when... Her expression suddenly darkened. She stopped moving.
どうした？
What's wrong?
ついさっきね、
I just got a message from
楓さん
Kaide.
からメールが
I
来て
didn't
て
notice it.
気づかなかったよ。どうしよう。おか
What
り
should I do, Ocarin? Mayuri seemed like she was on the verge of tears.
何かあったのか？
Did something happen?
ねえ、おかり。
Hey, Ocarin?
前に言ってたよね。
You told me before that Fubuki's not sick, right?
吹雪ちゃん？
Fubuki?
中瀬さんのことか？
You mean Nakase?
来島さんの方じゃなくて？
Not Kurishima, right?
あれって本当？
Is that true?
病気じゃないんだよね。
She's not really sick?
お
Yeah,
違うはずだ。
I don't think so.
でも、
Mayuri showed me her phone. Fubuki's back in the hospital. I'm on my way. Here's the location.
また入院しただって？
She's back in the hospital? I couldn't believe what I was seeing on the screen. Fubuki was at a different location than before. This time it was the AH Tokyo General Hospital High-Tech Medical Center in Yogi. I don't know what the fuck that was. I think I had a stroke. Please send help. It's not even that late in the evening. It was supposedly one of Japan's most advanced hospitals. According to what I read on the internet, patients with the new encephalitis that everyone had been talking about were being gathered here for special treatment. But I've also read lots of really bad urban legends about the place, and I was a bit worried about what kind of horror show I'd find there. But of course, when you arrive, it's nothing like that. It was very clean and decorated like a luxury hotel.
まゆりちゃん、おかりんさん、
Hey, Ocarin!
こっちです。
This way! Man, I feel like Kaide turns up into everything in the same clothes, and Yuki actually changes. Kaide and Yuki waved to us as we entered the lobby. Yuki had gotten a message from Kaide as well, and had evidently come right over.
ふぶきちゃんは
Where's Fubuki?
大丈夫だよ。
She's fine. Yuki gave Mayuri a soft hug and a smile. Kaide bowed her head apologetically.
驚かせてごめんね。
Sorry to scare
私
you.
も焦っちゃって。
I was kind of in a hurry myself.
もっとちゃんと確認
I
し
should
て
have checked more
からメー
carefully
ルすれ
before
ば
I
よかった
messaged you.
というと？
What do you mean?
中瀬さんの容体は？
How's Nakase doing?
今、病室で
I just met her
ふぶきちゃん
mom in the
のお母さ
hospital
ん
room.
に会えたんですけ
But
ど、
it doesn't look like her illness has
例
gotten
の
any
病気が
worse.
悪化したとかじゃないそうです。
じゃあまた
Then they just brought her here for more examinations or something?
はい、そう言って
Yes,
ました。
that's what they're saying.
だから、
So there's
全
nothing
然
to worry
心配
about.
ないって。
I'm so glad. Mayuri looked extremely relieved as Yuki continued to hug her. If I remembered right, the last time they examined her, they said it was possible she had the disease. But as long as it didn't get any worse, it wouldn't affect her daily life. They just told her to come back for regular checkups. The new encephalitis had arrived in Japan 6 months ago, but the number of patients was still increasing. Fortunately, there hadn't been a single casualty yet.
あれは病気な
I'm
のか
pretty sure that's no illness, though. I was certain that's what they were calling encephalitis was something similar to reading Steiner. One time when I went to visit Fubuki in the hospital, I'd secretly investigated the other patients. I wasn't able to get any proof, but I found out that most of the patients in her wing had, to varying degrees, memories of the same world line. Many people had memories of Japan at war.
ふぶきちゃんに会えるかな。
Can we see Fubuki?
それがね、今
They said they're doing an
MRI
MRI right now. They're
の
looking
検
to
査
her
をしてい
brain,
る最中
so
なんです
she's not in her room.
だから、そうなんだ。
I see.
でも、もう少しで終
It'll
わ
be
りみたい
done
よ。
soon.
Fubuki's mom told us to wait here.
Kaede motioned to Mayuri, indicating that we should sit down at a nearby sofa.
Once the exam's done, she's going to come get us.
I let the girls sit down on the sofa and stood next to them while I surveyed the lobby.
This is an amazing hospital, isn't it?
Yeah. Is Nakase's family rich or something? Is she staying in a place like this?
That's not it. Fubuki's mom said that the Japanese and American governments are paying for a new treatment project.
I'm concerned. Everything about this game is starting to concern me, and it's just all going to explode.
It's going to be central around this lab and has a dedicated hospital in America, supposedly.
I see. I wasn't sure how I felt about that. If I was right about what this disease really was, it was hard to imagine a bigger waste of money. Please give all the patients private rooms. And try to keep the rooms as far apart from one another as possible to ensure that the patients don't come into contact. But there aren't that many open rooms. You need to do it. You need to do it anyway. If the patients talk to each other, they'll start to share their dreams, right? Sure, that's true, but once a person hears someone else's dream, their brain can trick them into thinking they've had that dream as well. I mean, he's not wrong. Across the lobby, I saw an old Japanese doctor in a white coat and a big man in a suit who was frantically trying to talk to him. Oh! I'd seen the man in the suit before. Actually, it was a man I knew well. Professor! Professor Leskinen! I hurried over. Dr. Leskinen! It's me, Okabe! He must have been wearing his translator because he was communicating with the old doctor in Japanese. Dr. Leskinen's face quickly broke into a smile when he saw me. Oh! Rintaro! His voice was so loud that everyone in the lobby, doctors, nurses, staff, even the patients turned to look at me. But Dr. Leskinen didn't seem to notice as he ran over. He was like a giant American football player racing for a touchdown. Wait, Professor, stop! Stop! My cries went unheard as Dr. Leskinen tackled me and pulled me up. He switched from football player to pro wrestler and he swung me up and down. I felt like I was a little child. There was nothing I could do to resist him as he flung me around. A moment later, he noticed the cold stares of the people around us and finally released me. Oh, my. I'm sorry. I was so surprised I got a little too excited. Dr. Leskinen bowed to the people around him in apology. Dr. Leskinen, who is this young man? The doctor that Professor Leskinen had been talking to was staring at me suspiciously. Oh, well, I wasn't exactly sure what to tell him. It wasn't like he was really my professor. You seem to be a student. Which school are you with? If you're studying brain science like the professor. No, he'll be a student at Victor Condria this September. I'm planning on having him come to my lab. All the red flags are being waved right now. Huh? I see. Victor Condria University, eh? That's a surprise. I looked over at Leskinen questioningly, but he gave me a mischievous smile. This fucking guy! He's keeping secrets from me and I don't like it. What have you done with Maho? He really was such a kid. Very rare for a Japanese student to be able to go there. I'm impressed.
どうも。
Thanks. After the doctor left, I sighed loudly enough for Leskinen to hear me.
今の人は
So, who was that guy?
この病院の
The director of this hospital.
院長。
The director?!
そんな偉い人相手に。
You just told a lie to someone that important?
おや、私
Oh?
は嘘なんて
Did I lie?
確かに9月
I said you'd be a student starting this September. Well, I didn't mean this September.
今年の9月からとは言ってないよ。
You clever bastard.
それとも何かい？
Oh, what?
君は
Do you think you don't have what it takes to make it into my school in the end?
ないのかな？
That's a little unfortunate, but
残念だが。
he really was like a little kid. Completely shameless. But still, it was hard to hate him.
でも驚きました。
I'm surprised though.
教授が
I had no idea you were in Japan. It'd been 5 months since I'd seen him off at Narita.
魔法も一緒に。
Ma was here too. Oh, thank Christ.
そうなんですか？
Really?
一言も教えてもらってません。
She didn't say a word about it. I talked to her often enough via email and video chat, but mostly about Amadeus testing. But she hadn't said a word about coming to Japan. I hadn't heard anything about it from Kurisu either.
またあの和光市のブス
I'm back in the same office in Wako City. Come by anytime you like, and bring Kurisu.
泥棒に入られるか
I told them to find us at a different place after we got robbed last time, but... Dr. Leskinen looked up toward the ceiling and shrugged. It did feel like that place had security issues.
リンタールはどこか具合でも悪いの
You're not feeling well, Lintalo?
でここに
Did you come in for treatment?
あ、いえ、違います。
Oh, no. I'm here to visit a friend.
あ、そうか。
Oh, I see. That's
い
good.
や、その友人
Well,
にとっては
it's not good for your friend.
申し訳ない
I'm sorry.
あ、いえ。
Oh, no.
それで、教授
So, what are you doing at a Japanese hospital?
何を
Dr. Leskinen brought his face close to mine and whispered so that people around us couldn't hear.
君も知っているだろう。
You heard about the new case of encephalitis, right? The American government asked psychophysiology lab to look into it, but they've hit a roadblock. The university ordered me to help with the investigation.
そうなんですか。
I see.
レスキネン教
So you're helping with the new encephalitis cases. Now that was a word I didn't expect to hear. I explained that my friend was here because they thought she might have the disease.
もしかしてその友人というのは
Is your friend named Katsumi Nakase, perhaps?
え
Oh, yeah.
クリスマスパーティー
You met her at the Christmas party, didn't you?
うんうん。
That's right.
実は
My interest in the new disease started with that party, you see.
あのパリがきっかけでね。君と克美が
Both you and Katsumi collapsed, right? He was right, actually. In my case, I've been sent to the other world line.
克美には何日か
I
前
met
に
up with her several days ago.
だけどね
She demanded to know why she was being sent back to hospital when she was just fine.
来たよ。
そうでしたか。
I see.
もう少し協力的になっ
Would you tell her it would make me happier if she was a bit more cooperative?
伝えて。
あ
Huh.
実際のところ
I actually feel real bad for both her and all the other patients.
仕訳ないという気持ちはあるんだ。
I'm sus as fuck, Dr. Leskinen, and I don't like it, because you were such a lad at the Christmas party, and I don't want to suspect you.
我々も日本の医師
We and the other Japanese team were doing what we can, but we just don't understand the results we're getting.
どうにも解せない検査結果ばかりで困り果てているのさ。
Dr. Leskinen's usually chipper expression darkened. The man was such a ball of vitality that I hadn't noticed until then, but when his smile disappeared, you could see the wrinkles that had formed from on his face from exhaustion. He must have been working hard, like he said.
正直最初はどの
To be honest, none of the doctors thought we'd have this much trouble explaining it at the start.
思っていなかったらしいんだけど。ん？どうしたんだ？リンタ
What's wrong, Lintalo?
あ、
Oh, well,
その、
何か気になることで
is there something wrong?
いえ、
No.
俺は医学生じゃないので。
I'm not a medical student, so all this is outside my expertise. I was just about to tell him about my reading Steiner. But in the end, I couldn't. If my own informed opinion was wrong, it could cost the encephalitis patients their lives. I couldn't just tell him when I didn't have my proof. And that's when his face drew close to mine again. By the way, Katsumi said something very interesting. She said something about not being sick and how she was actually experiencing another world in her dreams. I told her not to say anything about it. Could she not help it? This was bad. I might start to doubt her sanity. Well, Nakase's got a very vivid imagination, maybe. She loves science, sci-fi, and anime. She probably just thought her power of she probably just thought she has the power to experience parallel worlds just before she saw it from some show somewhere. I remember that I used to say stuff like that. I tried my best to come up with excuses, but Dr. Leskinen still seemed concerned. But still, I was really surprised when I started participating in the treatment project. One of the strange things about this illness is that many patients share the same dreams. I'm assuming it's similar to mass hallucination. What do you think? I've never seen this before. From a brain science perspective, I just don't have an answer right now. To be honest, unscientific is the word that seems the best fit. Like parallel worlds, or memories of a past life, you know? I see. It would help if you talked to Katsumi too. There's some things you can't say to a doctor, but that you can tell your friends. Sure. I'll ask her, I guess. So, Lintalo, and aside, I have a question for you. Dr. Leskinen was looking over my shoulder. I got a sense of this at the Christmas party, but your girlfriends are all real cute, aren't they? Huh? I turned around and saw that Mayuri, Kaide, and Yuki had all stood up from the sofa and were looking at me. When they saw Dr. Leskinen was looking at them, they waved. So, are any of those girls involved with you right now? Yuki, Kaide, Mayuri, Luca! Yes! Maybe Katsumi. I see what he's doing. What? His words were so surprising I couldn't think of anything to say. Maho would often call this middle-aged man a mischievous boy, and that was exactly the look he had in his face. No, I won't force you to tell me. I don't want to pry into your private life. Excuse me, I'll have you know that I have a harem. I have a harem! I love voice crack. You really didn't have to show up then just to prove a point. But, well, I'd hope to have something to tell my favorite student. That is the sign of mass confusion. Dr. Leskinen turned to walk away before I could figure out what he meant. Alright, Lintalo. I've got to go talk to the director a little more, so I'll be going. I'd love to go around to all these girls next and give them a hug too, but I'll save that for next time. Tell them I said hello. Oh, sure. Mayor and the others came over to me as I watched him go.
Was that Dr. Leskinen? Yeah, I know I'd seen him somewhere before. I thought he'd gone back to America. Oh, Korean?
There was no way I could tell the girls what Leskinen and I were just talking about. After Fubuki's exam was over, we went to her room and listened to her complain, and then visit was over. Just like Dr. Leskinen had said, she looked fine. She told us all she was ready to leave the hospital and jogged the way home. Mayuri and the others were relieved, but I felt worried. Did I need to talk to Dr. Leskinen about reading Steiner after all? But how would I explain it? It might be a bad idea to talk to Maho and have her explain it to him. I couldn't come to an answer right away. Oh, hello, you. I thought we'd forgotten about you after the time you punched the gun at me. It was a very hot day in 1998 when Suzuha said goodbye to Kagari Shina. She'd gone to get food and water from a local store, and when she'd come back and opened the hatch, Kagari was inside, screaming.
Oh, come on! How does this stupid thing work?
She looked inside and saw that Kagari was slamming her tiny hands down on the control console.
What are you doing?
Kagari shrank back when she saw Suzuha.
This isn't what it looks like. Answer me. But I woke up and thought you were gone, and it's dark and the lights wouldn't turn on. It's so scary and cramped in here. So I tried to open the door. And then I was fiddling with it. This happened.
Kagari started to cry.
I'm sorry, Big Sis Suzuha. I'm sorry. I was really scared. I see.
Suzuha relaxed her guard. Kagari had PTSD from her time as a war orphan, and she hadn't fully recovered yet. Mayuri once told her that she got very frightened in dark and cramped places. It would make sense if waking up in the dark caused a panic attack. And the time machine could only function with Suzuha's biometric authorization. Someone of Kagari's size wouldn't be able to break the console either.
You passed out from the shock of the time travel. So I wanted to let you get some rest. I'm sorry.
Suzuha grabbed one of Kagari's tiny hands to help her up, and then led her outside the machine.
Ew. It's so hot.
Kagari,
Promise me that you won't touch the switches on the control console no matter what, okay? Okay. I'm going to get started. You go and rest. Have some food and water if you want.
Suzuha handed Kagari the provisions she bought, then went inside and poked her head into the cargo space under the control console. She connected the IBM 5100 she stored to a portable terminal she brought from the future. By all appearances, it was an early 2000s cell phone, but inside it was a miniaturized quantum computer from the year 2036. And of course, Future Daru had made it himself. When she booted up the IBM 5100, rows of numbers started to appear on the screen.
What are you doing?
Kagari was looking from outside the machine.
Did you study the year 2000 problem? I studied a little at the orphanage. In the end, nothing happened, right?
Oh, Y2K.
That's what everybody thinks. It wasn't made public, but at the time, a lot of places and a lot of countries had serious problems because of it. Really? The issue was this computer, the IBM 5100. It's got an old programming language on it, and the engineers weren't able to fix the program. In fact, they didn't even know that the important program existed that was written in this language. The race to develop the time machine was the beginning of the Third World War, but there's a chance that something will happen during the year 2000 problems, and the divisions that resulted from that were in deeper cores.
She didn't expect a 10-year-old like Kagari to understand this, but she didn't feel like taking the time to explain.
And the year 2000 is a special year, you see. All of the world lines temporarily converge here. This means that it's possible the year 2000 problem had a huge effect on all the world lines. The world line in the gap we're trying to reach, Steins Gate, is no exception.
She looked down at the terminal connected to the IBM 5100.
So this is a patch program to keep the year 2000 problem from ever happening.
Right now, the terminal was converting the patch to the language used by the IBM 5100. The next step was to spread this program all around the world in the form of a virus, and the Y2K problems that this era's engineers missed would completely disappear. The word connect appeared on the terminal subscreen.
Okay, it's connected.
She'd been told that in Japan, in this era, ADSL was still the test phase. Most normal users connected to the internet via low-speed dial-up using ISDN. Yeah, you got some sweet dubstep to go with it. But in major cities like Akihabara, universities, labs, and some big computer companies were starting to use fiber optic broadband. Some of them were even using wireless LANs. Holy shit. How far we've come in like 20 goddamn years. Suzuha cracked her way into one of those. Dad had laughed when he'd said that with 2036 technology, cracking late 20th century network was a joke, but he'd been right.
If you change the future, won't that change the world you're in?
Surprisingly, Kagari had gotten the gist of what Suzuha had just told her.
That's right. I refuse to let the world exist any longer. So I've come here to reach Steins Gate.
Suddenly, the uneasy look on Kagari's face vanished. It was as if her soul had left her body. Suddenly her face was expressionless, and her eyes were wide. Voice. I can hear God's voice. Kagari? Oh, piss. What? This is the problem I'd hoped to avoid. Nope. Oh, piss, I don't know. Ah, there we go. It's double right click. Backup log. Can hear God's voice.
Kagari? You can't do that. It's not right.
Get my mouse out of the way again.
Oi.
Huh? Kagari was acting strangely. Suspiciously, Suzuha reached her hand out toward her. But she slipped past Suzuha's hand. And quicker than any child should be able to move, she slammed her shoulder straight into Suzuha's body. Suzuha was caught completely off guard. That's how fast it was. Kagari's shoulder hit her in the solar plexus. She bent over and collapsed onto the seat. Kagari tore the terminal out of Suzuha's hands. The cables connected it to the IBM 5100 were ripped out and errors displayed on both screens.
What are you doing?
Kagari didn't answer the question. Instead, she grabbed the backpack that Suzuha had placed on the seat and spilled its contents onto the floor. They were MREs, spare parts, clothes, and a semi-automatic pistol. Suzuha couldn't believe it. Kagari was going to try and pick it up. Stop it! She forced herself to ignore the pain as she jumped on Kagari's body. But another unbelievably powerful slam knocked her back. Something cold was pushed right up against her brow. Don't move! Kagari's tiny hands weren't shaking at all as they clutched the semi-automatic pistol. In the space of an instant, the safety on the gun had been flipped off. That's when Suzuha realized that this wasn't just a temper tantrum. Suzuha was the one who taught her how to use a gun. That's why she knew that Kagari was perfectly calm.
Are you insane? Put the gun down now. And stop doing this. You're the one who needs to stop. What? You can't change the world. You're not making any sense.
There was no hesitation in her eyes. Instead, Suzuha only saw resolve.
Do you want that war to happen then? I don't know anything about that. I just want to go back to my own world. And that's never going to happen. We already used the time machine to interfere with the past. The world line's changed. There's almost no chance we can go back. Shut up! Shut up! I'm going to save Mommy! You can't erase this world! I won't let you!
Kagari turned the gun towards the IBM 5100.
Stop!
Before Suzuha could stop her, she yanked down on the trigger. Again and again.
Stop it, Kagari! Please, stop!
And then Kagari jumped out of the time machine, and Suzuha never saw her again. On every night past that, she remembered Kagari. Suzuha had spent some time looking for Kagari when she'd first come to this era, but in the end she'd never found anything. But Kagari Shino, who was now 22 years old, was here in Akihabara. Suzuha was sure of it. But it did no good to keep thinking about it. So Suzuha decided to stop thinking and look around the room. Oh god! I did not need to see Dara in a wife beater. That's just ugh. Itaru, her dad, was playing yet another game populated entirely with female characters. Don't fucking judge me! His jaw was slack, and he was scratching the belly fat that was stuck out from under his shirt as he played. There wasn't much to respect in him right now, either as a father or as a person.
Come to think of it, how are things with Mom?
Huh?
Is everything okay? I'm still going to be born, right?
Oh, well... is that more important than the time machine?
Hey!
Suzuha stormed over to Itaru.
You can't screw this up, Dad!
Yeah. Daddy's gonna do his best, okay?
All you ever do is talk. You even wasted those movie tickets we gave you, didn't you?
She meant the pair of movie tickets that Mayuri and Faris had conspired to give them at the Christmas party. That was because Ogre and Miss Fubuki collapsed, you know. We were so busy with the hospital visits and stuff that the movie left the theater. It's not like it's my fault.
I heard that when they tried to give you new tickets, you turned them down.
Who told you that?
Big Sis Mayuri, my Big Sis Rumi, obviously.
That's because, you know, it's not very manly to make those two do all the work, is it?
So, did you go and do something yourself? This isn't going to work.
Maybe this was more important. Maybe there was a more important problem than the time machine. Zazua brought her hands up to her head.
Listen, Dad. I'm not going to be around to lecture you like this forever, okay? I'm leaving soon.
Oh. Suddenly there was a sad look in Itaru's eyes.
Don't make that face. I promised I'd stop worrying about it.
For the past 6 months, Zazua had been thinking about whether it was really right to erase this world. But in the end, it was none other than Itaru who'd pushed her to go ahead. I'm sorry. She couldn't bear to see her father so depressed, so she patted his broad back.
Don't just sit there and be glum. Send Mom a message and see if she's free sometime. And if she's free, invite her to a movie.
That's way too sudden!
I don't care if it's sudden or not. Do it anyway, okay? This is an order.
An order.
What's your answer?
Sir, yes, sir! Satisfied, she headed off to take a shower. Oh, but before that, I'm gonna hit the convenience store. Please don't glare at me like that. I'll eat as healthy as I can, so please forgive me.
Vanilla.
Huh?
I want ice cream when I'm done with my shower. Vanilla ice cream.
Okay, I'll go buy a lot of really top-shelf stuff.
It doesn't have to be a lot, just one thing is fine.
Sir, yes, sir! That was enough to cheer Daru up. He took his wallet and ran out of the lab.
He's such a handful.
She'd just taken off her jacket so she could take that shower, but... Suzua! Ito had come back into the lab.
What is it?
I found this on the stairs. Ito showed her a keychain he was holding. It was a round anime character whose color had faded to a smoky green. It was... an Upa. Do you know whose this is?
Big Sis Mayu's, probably.
She leaned forward to take a closer look, and then felt like she was experiencing deja vu.
I've seen this Upa somewhere before.
She'd seen it before? She couldn't really remember when, but her internal alarms were going off. This keychain was extremely important. Upas were common enough that you could find them anywhere. The plastic edges had worn down. The paint was faded and coming off in places. But there was no dust and there were no stains. Instead, it shone brightly as if its owner put a lot of effort into taking care of it. It's Kagari. She knows where you live, Suzua! The chain was so old that part of it had snapped off. That's probably how it got dropped.
Where was it? I've seen this before.
Did Mayushi show it to you?
I don't know.
She stared at the green Upa in Itaru's hands. And then in her mind she heard a young girl scream.
This is Mommy's Upa keychain. I'm giving it to you. Take good care of it, okay?
I'm really struggling to do that Mayuri voice. I'm probably gonna have to call this episode soon at some point. She gasped. A feeling of indescribable terror raced down her spine.
This can't be. Kagari's?
That was when she'd last seen it. August 13th, 2036. The day she'd gone into the time machine. That's when she'd seen the super. It was older than more worn now, but she remembered the day. It was older and more worn now, but the more she remembered that day, the more certain she became. This was the Upa that Mayuri had given to Kagari. She'd seen Kagari holding it and crying to herself many times before. Kagari? You mean future Miss Mayu's daughter?
Yeah.
Did you find her?
No. But she knows where I am.
What do you mean?
She's watching this lab.
Satisfied, she headed off to take a shower. Ever since then, her careful efforts to defend the time machine had paid off, and she hadn't seen any sign of Kagari, but she never thought she'd be watching the lab.
No. It would have been obvious if I'd given it any thought. She's trying to stop us from reaching Steins Gate. She doesn't want this world to end. Which means she's not just watching me, but you too?
Huh? Me?
Well, I don't think your life's in danger. Probably. If you believe what we know about how worldlands work, you'll live to 2036 at least. But she might come to interfere with your research, so we can't reach Steins Gate.
A lot of bad things were happening around Suzuha, Itaru, and Okabe Rintaro. There was some possibility that the final target was Itaru.
From now on, just to be safe, lock the door whenever I'm not around.
Okay. Got it.
Even if Uncle Okarin, Mom, or Big Sis Mayu aren't here, don't leave it open. It might not help much, but make sure you use the door chain, too.
Yep. You know, Okarin and Mayushi are one thing, but if I did that when I was alone with Amaneshi, don't you think that that'd give her the wrong idea?
That's true.
If that makes her not like me, my whole family could be in trouble. Suzuha groaned softly, unsure of what to do.
If you only gotten to be a boyfriend sooner, then there wouldn't be a problem.
Wait, we're back on that!
Just be careful, okay?
Suzuha decided to keep the green Upa keychain. She softly ran her fingertips over it as she stared at it. Hey, Suzuha. Kagari-tan's not related to Mayushi, but she's still her daughter, right?
That's right.
Could somebody raised by Mayushi grow to be the kind of person who'd assault someone? I just can't imagine it from what you've told me. I'd expect it to be a kind, easygoing, and cute little girl.
I wish that was what happened. Yeah, I thought that's how she'd turn out too. But now she's probably...
From what she's seen at the radio building, she could tell. Kagari had definitely received professional combat training. It wasn't just simple self-defense techniques that she'd learned from Suzuha when she was a child. As she'd grown up, she'd been taught the cold techniques of a killer. There was nowhere to know where she'd been, what she'd been doing, and ever since she'd gone missing since 1998. But there was no doubt in Suzuha's mind that she was trying to ruin her plans. I really don't want to leave this here, but if I'm 100% honest, my throat is starting to hurt from trying to do like everyone's voice because I haven't recorded this in quite a while, so I think I'm going to leave this off here. I know, we were just about to get some Suzuha fan service as well, considering she's like the only girl that hasn't gotten any so far. Anyway, thank you all for watching these past few episodes of Steins Gate. If you like the video in any capacity, please give the video a like down below. Leave a comment on whatever you feel like at this point. And if you want to keep up to date with whenever I post videos, be they of this, Persona 5 Royal, or... No, this is Steins Gate, or Valkyria Chronicles, please consider subscribing to the channel. In theory, YouTube sends you alerts as to when I post videos, but failing that, pressing the sub button made me feel good today, so thanks in advance. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I've been Nyx, and I will see you guys next time. Laters.